Welcome, everybody, to the very first session of the AppSmash Festival this week. I'm Tisha Poncio with Wakelet, and I am here with Kyle from Quizizz. And Kyle, this is our first time to present together, isn't it?
I know, which is kind of wild.
It is wild. I couldn't believe it, but I'm so excited to be here with you. We are going to show you how to AppSmash Quizizz and Wakelet and really be able to bring some engagement and excitement and fun into your classroom for students with learning. We want to welcome our friends in the chat. So if you are in the chat, we want to hear from you. Tell us where you are tuning in from. Tell us how many years you've been teaching. And if you have been using Wakelet and Quizizz, we want to know, what is your favorite way to use Wakelet and Quizizz? And if you're brand new, that's okay. That's why you're here. We are going to give you some really great ideas. Kyle, do you see anybody familiar in the chat this morning?
Oh, I saw Alex Isaacs popping in, and fellow Jersey person, and some other names that are always amazing to see, and from all over, which is great.
I saw somebody from my actual hometown where I grew up in West Texas. So shout out to Chelsea Hawkins from Seminole. Mohammed, of course, is here. Who else did I see? Oh, Andy Knieven is in the chat.
Nice.
Very, very good. Well, Kyle has a presentation, and we are going to, you ready to pop that up, Kyle? Because we have some fun things to do, and we only have about 30 minutes with them.
We can do it. We can do it.
Okay.
Yes.
You ready?
Okay. Let's do it. Okay. So the two options. And so actually, let me just take a step back. Hi, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with us for a second. And so if you've ever been to any kind of webinar with me, I always deliver it through Quizizz. Of course, because I love Quizizz and I work there, but also I think it gives you, as the audience member, a chance to be interactive during this presentation. So you don't have to. You can sit back and just kind of watch the show. But I always say, if you're able to right now, please come on and join us. So right there on the screen, it says joinmyquiz.com, and there's the code for you. And then Amy in the back studio, I'm going to put this link in the chat if there's a way to share it with folks as well. That would be amazing for a direct link. And what we have in store for us right now, thanks, is we're going to show you just some of the highlights of what's kind of been new and exciting in the world of quizzes. Tish is going to show you some amazing.
I love seeing them join, Kyle. The noise is amazing. That's so fun. Yeah, I'm going to share some things Wakelet wise. If you're brand new to Wakelet, if you came over from the Quizizz community, I'm going to share a little bit, but you're going to be able to see all week the power of Wakelet and how to really create these meaningful experiences. It really is more than just curation, right, Kyle? There's so much we can do when we're app smashing things together. So yeah, you guys are joining. I see you. How do we have 15 in there? 14? Very good.
Cool. So let's do another maybe 15 seconds. And then again, we'll keep that link up there or that code up there because you can join in late at any point. And again, my goal for this is to make this as interactive as possible. So it's not just Tisha and I talking, and you all can contribute and try and experiment. It's way more fun to say, hey, try flashcards than here is flashcards and
exactly
all these different things. So
I love Andy's comment. Pop, 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 pop. So many fun names popping up. This is really fun, Kyle. I always love how engaging your presentations are. And again, I think whatever we're doing for teachers to get them excited about learning, we also, for students, we also need to be doing with teachers, right? Instead of just sitting there, like you said, and just giving them the information, we want them to engage. So it's great to see all of you joining in. So it's kind of early for me, Kyle. I don't know, it's 11 where you are, but for me, I'm still just kind of waking up.
All right.
Hello.
Then I'll get us going here. All right. So let's go again. The link is there. You can still join later, but let's do this thing, right? We got a half hour. We got lots of great things we want to show you. I'm going to hit start. So Tisha, I can't see anything right now. So
okay.
We good? We full screen?
We are good. We are full screen. I can see the code. I can see that we have 26 people. And I can see our main slide deck. So I think we're ready to rock and roll.
Beautiful. Let's do it then. Okay. This one here, folks, this is for anyone who either wants to share this with someone else later on. This is like the asynchronous link, or if you're watching us right now on YouTube, hello. This is so you can follow along with this kind of asynchronously. So for those who are here, I wouldn't worry about this unless you want to share this with someone later. But the main reason you're here right now, again, is to hear the updates, check out some app smashing. Of course, we'll do some cool giveaways. So the first thing I always want to know, and I know some people already kind of put in the chat, I appreciate, is where are you coming from right now? So in front of you should be a little map. And so again, if you've never done a Quizizz lesson before, you might need to toggle a little bit back and forth between like our StreamYard kind of YouTube link and the Quizizz lesson link. But there should be a little map for you, which is going to ask you where you're from. And then we will be able to see, we'll be able to get an idea where folks are from. You can put a little circle, a little dot, that sort of thing.
Kyle, while we're waiting on that, can you tell me more about qubits? I see that in the chat. Qubits on point. Qubits. I see. Tell me more about that.
Oh my gosh. So qubits is like student avatars that like, it'd be one of those things that like you would think didn't really matter that much. But every time I head into a classroom, it's the students' like favorite things right now. It's just like this like avatar you get to have, and you get to unlock cool hair and features and accessories, and it just kind of like
so for people who don't have cool hair, like some people out there, they can have cool hair in Quizizz. I think that's really important though. What you said is, it seems like it doesn't matter. It seems like it's one of those things that doesn't really matter, but students are always looking for a way to share and show their identity, right? So I think that, and even for us, like if I wanted to have purple hair, I could, right?
Good. All right. So it looks like, again, I'm going to use this feature in Quizizz where you can kind of get this little overlay of all the drawing to kind of get like a heat map of where people are joining us from. We actually have a lot in the Northeast right now, which is of the US. How about that? At 11 a.m. on thanks for hanging out with us. Okay, cool. So now we have to ask you two very important questions because we don't know your knowledge on Wakelet, on Quizizz. It's always good for us to know who is in the room. The first question, real short and sweet. How familiar are you with Wakelet? You're here at their main event. We have 4 options, as you can see right
here. I dabble in it. That's what I'm choosing. Yeah, I dabble.
All right, and the timer is stressing people out. I can always turn it off.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, important to know, right?
Very important to know, actually, because I would have been your student that would have been like, that is stressing me out. I feel like I'm running out of time and I don't have enough time to process what you asked.
Well, look at this. We got some dabblers, some hot shots. We kind of got the whole gamut there, which is great.
It's amazing.
All right, I'm going to end it. And then you're here, obviously, to learn a little bit about Quizizz. So of the people in the room, same question there about Quizizz. Good for me to know.
Kyle, this is so, there's been so many updates since I used it in the classroom. Just really, really incredible here for students.
Holy cow, Tisha. I think, to be honest, like that's like one of our biggest challenges. I think that some people just haven't been here in like 6 months, and so much has changed in 6 months,
Yeah.
So we want to make sure we get the word out. So hopefully this helps a little bit.
Wow, look at that.
All right, it's kind of the same general gist. We got some people across the board. Cool. Thank you. All right. Good to know.
The dabblers, I feel like, have won out on both of those, which tells me that probably teachers are all dabblers in all the things, right? Because we have to know a little bit about everything. That's awesome.
All right. And I have to say this first. So we hope that throughout this presentation, I hate the word presentation, right? This interactive, amazing activity we're going to do for you, right? That you learn something really cool that you might want to share with others. So I linked it right there for you. I would say if you're someone who's on Twitter or X, I would click that right now because it already has like a pre-written tweet that just kind of tells you, hey, I'm attending this really cool thing with Wakelet and Quizizz. And then if you see something cool, attach a screenshot or send it as is. And then I'll be picking 2 winners to send out some Quizizz swag of your choice from Twitter or X. And if you're not on Twitter or X, no worries at all. We're also going to give out 2 winners live. And then Tisha, at the very end, they have a chance to fill out a Wakelet feedback form, and there'll be 2 more winners that you're going to send out some swag to those folks as well. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. Don't worry. You'll get all of the things that Kyle is talking about. I'm going to see if I can get Amy to pop that link in the chat for everyone. So I'm going to send that over to her backstage, and that way we can get a ton of tweets because we want you to win.
And this will pop up one more time at the end for you too. All right. So I will try to be as brief as I can here, Tisha, with some of these updates. So I focused on this like Quizizz is way more than Quizizz, because again, if you haven't been here in a minute, you're seeing right now that we're doing a lesson, which a lot of people just again think of us as kind of a formative assessment tool. So we're doing a lesson. This just released about a month ago. We have this really clean flashcard mode. This is one that we sent out on social media that people seem to love. It was like this flashcard mode of, do you even understand what kids are saying these days with Gen Z, Gen Alpha slang? But it's just a really clean one that just came out. And this is one of my favorite parts about Quizizz lessons, is I embedded the site for you all. So you can actually just like real quick, like give it a test run if you want. I'll give you like 30 seconds or so. I'd recommend you click on like topic just to keep it short and sweet, and then try it, right? So if I was to say, I don't know, the best things about Wakelet, right? Is this going to work? And we want a flashcard deck about all the best things about Wakelet that teachers and students love. What do you think, Tisha? Is this going to actually?
I think that's amazing.
Oh my God. I mean, it could be amazing, or it's AI.
Or it could not be. You're right.
Right. Let's see. We can do some key features, some scenarios. That sounds good. Ooh, let's put some compare. No, we don't want to compare other tools. Tips for effective use. Great. Ooh, an integration with curriculum. That all sounds great. And let's see. And so I don't know, Tisha. I mean, you're the Wakelet queen there.
That was so fast. I'm like really impressed with how fast it did that. I would say, I like flashcard 11 a lot. And you knew I was going to say that. I think also flashcard. These are good.
Right?
Yeah.
So again, in 30 seconds, what's kind of cool is that, you can make your own flashcards for students. We have this for quizzes too, but I think I just want to make sure you all know we got these flashcards, and hopefully right now you got a chance to try it out.
That's really good. I think that's a really good way to support when you, like if I was in the classroom with students and introducing a new tool, right? Just kind of helping navigate that. A lot of times as a teacher, I felt like I had to be the knower of all the tools all the time, all the updates. And that was a lot of heavy work, but having the teachers be able to do that as well is amazing.
Yeah. And there you go. You can use the same prompt and make sure that all the dabblers out there learn how amazing Wakelet truly is. All right, I'm going to keep it rolling though. And along the second line of, hey, Quizizz is way more than just quizzes. We recently, about 6 months ago, released interactive video. And here, I'll just show you the GIF for a second. And so it's kind of what it sounds like. Take a YouTube video, Google Drive video, and it stops and asks you all the Quizizz question types that you love, multiple choice, and all those amazing questions. Only it's directly aligned to YouTube videos. And you can use AI to generate them or just make them yourself. Or what's really great is we have this entire library, of course, you can go into Quizizz and just kind of search for. And again, to always give you a chance to try it. The next slide, it's going to pop up, and I want you, it's only 20 seconds, but I took this video of Tisha. She didn't know about it. And if you just hit preview as a student, I'll stop talking for 20 seconds. So Tisha, we just need to be like quiet, which is really hard.
It's hard for both of us. Yes.
We can do it. And then they'll hear video you, and the video will stop. And oh my gosh, and Alex is on the call. Alex, okay. So on your embedded one right now, I'm going to encourage all of you right now to hit preview as a student. And I will be quiet 20 seconds.
And you put all those amazing resources into one and use column layout, right? And you think, okay, what can I implement immediately? What do I want to take a look at this year? And then maybe what do I want to come back to?
Enough time. So I muted this one, so I didn't want to mess with people's volume here. So Tisha, did you see it?
I saw it. That looked amazing. Who's the dynamic duo with Tisha? This is a great question.
I know there's two strong duos there, both from Jersey, actually. But that was, that was awesome. And then the video continues, and you kind of keep it rolling
later, right? So that you can kind of organize that. There is so much.
Cool. So that's interactive video. Again, I encourage you to give it a try. It's easy. It's wonderful. It has amazing use cases for when you're in the classroom. If you have a substitute teacher, you can think of 1,000 reasons why this might be helpful for you.
Hey, Kyle, I have a question. There's a question in the chat that I don't want to skip over before we continue. It is back to flashcards. Do students have to create accounts in order to view or use the flashcards?
No.
Okay.
And so right now it's teacher led, like you would make it and assign it to them and they don't need an account. And then stage 2 will hopefully be, we get to the spot where students can create their own flashcards on their own and that sort of thing. And for that, I don't know if they're going to need an account probably, but I guess we'd see.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Thank you for shooting that my way. Okay. And then the last thing I got for you in the world of, hey, we're way more than quizzes is this Google Slides add-on. So as you can see, I'm doing a lesson right now. And for those who love Google Slides, you make all your stuff on Google Slides. There's an add-on right now where you can just hit open the quizzes add-on. It's linked right here if you want to get it. And then it's kind of exactly what you hope it would be, is that you can put interactive questions and videos. I'm sorry, interactive questions the same way I am right now. And it'll, you can make everything on Google Slides, and then it'll turn it into a cool quizzes lesson like we have right now. So you can do it with your students in a really, really easy way. So again, I can go on forever about this, but if you leave here with anything, I hope that you see that quizzes is way, way, way more than just quizzes at this point.
Absolutely. There's another question from the same person. Is it the same for interactive videos with students? They can see the interactive, they don't have to have an account necessarily to engage. Okay.
That's right.
Perfect. I think what you have shown here, Kyle, is how robust Quizizz is. And honestly, even I'm impressed. And I want to sit down with, I need a session with Kyle. I want to hang out with Kyle and do a work study session so I can go do the Wakelet Quizizz AppSmash. Maybe I should do that with the trainers. That would be fun. Okay. I think that's an idea.
Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Yeah, it's been a lot of really cool things lately. Okay, so I'm going to end up my section because, again, I know we have way more to talk about. So this, I'm going to add to this little bit, but I wanted to show you once again that you can embed anything into a Quizizz lesson like a Wakelet. So I'll put some top things that people are talking about here really soon, so you all can see just some other things that people are excited about Quizizz.
Yeah, we'll put all of Kyle's all of his resources, everything that you just saw is going to be in the resource collection at the end. You'll also have access to the AppSmash Festival profile, so you can go back to that and you can share that with everyone else. There's one other question, Kyle, from Jessica. Can students collaborate on the quiz?
So collaborate as in take the quiz together or create a quiz together?
Let's see. They can take the quiz together, right?
I mean, if they sit next to each other,
yeah.
But there's no way that they can on the same device collaborate, if that's the question.
Okay, we'll let her clarify on that. So we're going to go through Wakelet. Just for those of you that are brand new to Wakelet, we're going to do this very quickly. As Kyle said, we have so much more for you. If you're new to Wakelet, we want you to know that Wakelet is going to help you do so much more than curation. I always like to hit on this. Yes, you can curate resources. You saw Kyle's example. That will be updated. It's all coming soon. So you can share learning resources. There are EdTech platforms, I will tell you, familiar ones that you know of, that are using Wakelet within their organization to share resources, to also share resources out to particular groups like administrators, librarians, etc. So there's lots of ways to do that. You can also use it internally to collaborate. This is going to be something that's going to help you hit those learning standards, the ISTE standards, the ASCD principles. And then, as always, why are we in this business? It's to improve student outcomes and to create true leaders to go out into the world. So Wakelet can help you do that and so much more. We're kind of keeping it here, Kyle. We want to keep it simple. You can do all of that with Quizizz. We'll go on to the next slide. Here's the thing, and I am all about this. If you know me, you know I talk about this all the time. Kyle knew that I was going to hit on that curriculum. I am always going to say that you aren't just using a tool to use a tool. How does it enhance your curriculum? How does it help launch your students forward? Creating these memorable moments for them, right? Real world moments where they are having to critically think, but also have fun. Let them have fun. And then Wakelet, you can put all of that together. Kyle could put all of his stuff together and create his own digital portfolio in Wakelet, showing how Quizizz is going to enhance those student outcomes. There's so many ways to do this. And I am going to say that I encourage all of you to do this because you should be modeling for your students, right? You should be using Quizizz yourself and Wakelet and curating things and researching things because they need that model and you're with them probably more than their parents are. Okay, so let's go to the next slide, Kyle. And then also, I always like to hit on this because it is a question that we're asked all the time, but Wakelet is safe. You can create interactive lessons, just like Kyle said. Now, if I were to sit with Kyle and Kyle and I were co-teachers, I would be I would say, Kyle, on our planning period, let's get together. We're going to try to hit these 4 standards. I'm going to create a Wakelet. Now let's put a Quizizz in here and we're going to formulate a lesson, right? So just from top down, there's so many ways to do that, but also, Kyle, Citizenship Week is coming up, and I think you all know how I feel about that. We shouldn't just be doing it once a week in the year. It needs to happen every single day. And I do think quizzes is a great way to teach your students how to engage with each other and really kind of create this sense of belonging. Wakelet does the exact same thing, helping your students become future ready. They need to be able to know how to use digital tools, how to vet digital tools, how to troubleshoot digital tools, right? And then there are so many templates on Wakelet. You can go into your Wakelet account, use the Explore tool, and find so many resources, templates you can copy. I know Alex Isaacs has a ton of stuff out there. I actually, Kyle, go save all of Alex's collections to my own bookmarks so I can go to them later. But there's lots of ways to utilize Wakelet to support you with your curriculum, your instruction, your pedagogy, and to help you hit all of those goals really in a very streamlined way very quickly. So that is my Wakelet spiel for you. I don't want to overwhelm you with Wakelet because we're going to go talk more about quizzes, right?
Yeah, we'll hit up how we just play nicely together.
Exactly.
But first, are we ready? Can I go on to give away our first?
You are ready. I'm ready for a giveaway. I love giveaways.
Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to spin the wheel first for those who are here with us right now, and then we'll spin it again at the end to get our 2. And so Quizizz lesson has this nice little random name chooser that I like to use as the random swag giveawayer for events. So here we go. And if you're the winner, we'll write down your name and we'll make sure we get a hold of you. All right. And our first winner from our Wakelet Quizizz AppSmash event. I'm not going to be able to say that the right way. I'm going to try Aofi. We will get you your swag. Congratulations on our first winner. Congratulations. And
that's amazing.
Yeah. We'll spin it again at the end.
Okay, so let's, there's some questions. I love how engaged this chat is, Kyle. It always makes me happy. That means they are loving this. So Stephanie says, can someone post a link to the Wakelet collection for this AppSmash? So we are going to get you that. We're going to get that to you. Don't worry. I believe Wakelet has just posted that. There you go. And then let's talk Wakelet and Quizizz, Kyle.
Let's do it. Okay. So I would say, at its core, it's just a really, really easy way. So hopefully you've already seen one direction in the sense of you can embed all your Wakelets into a Quizizz lesson, right? So they're always accessible for your students in the middle of a lesson. Hey, check this out, or even collaborate on a Wakelet collection right in the middle of a lesson. So you've seen that angle, and now we're going to kind of show you the other way that Quizizz can itself embed into a Wakelet collection and what that means and why you might do that. So what we're going to do is this is like an 8-second little clip here, and then we'll just show you 3 examples that we pulled from real teachers doing this already that we just wanted to kind of highlight some of those different things.
Absolutely.
So again, you can watch it on your screen or you can just look at mine, whatever makes you happy. And so it's really, really easy when you're in Quizizz just to grab that here. Let me slow it down for a second. So if you're in Quizizz, there's an option to embed. You can just grab the embed link you see right there. And then it's as simple as just kind of pasting that into your Wakelet. And then it comes up right then and there. So the students can play it right then. They don't need to go to outside.
So that's what I want to clarify. They do not have to leave that Wakelet collection. Right, Kyle?
They do not. And so if you're looking at this one here, which again, you can scroll yourself or look at my screen, whatever makes you happy here. Sorry, there's something going on right now with my Wakelet.
Kyle is using his Wakelet account to the fullest extent that he's creating some things in the background right now. So here's the thing. We're going to show you, we're going to make sure this collection is available to you, but this is a great example of really lesson planning at its finest and then pulling the embed codes from Quizizz over. So as a teacher, I'll just tell you what I did. And you can see this if you go to my profile on Wakelet. I created lesson plans. And the very first thing I did was I linked my learning management system into my Wakelet collection because my students always got lost. And then in my learning management system, I linked that Wakelet collection so that they were always talking to each other and they weren't lost. Then I would formulate like a 5E lesson plan. So however you're doing lesson plans, you can pull those in at whatever point you want. So if you want to do, a pre-assessment with your students on elements, compounds, and mixtures, you can go grab that Quizizz and pop it right in. Your students never have to leave that Wakelet collection, and you can really flow them through very nicely, really through the entire learning process and getting them to that reflection piece, which if you wanted to, I would do this, Kyle, and this is kind of a stretch, but this is what I would have had my students do. I would have wanted my students to create their own quizzes quizzes, right? Because when they're creating their own quizzes about those topics, they're really having to understand that information. So you're going to get all of these examples. Amy and I are on the back end. We're going to make sure Kyle's account is untangled with all of the, he must be doing a lot of secret Wakelet work back there. What else, Kyle? What's next?
Yeah, so thank you for that. Again, I'm not sure what's going on with my computer, so I apologize for all those who wanted to see this right now. So it's a lot of the same things that you're hoping to see. Let's see, this one, see, something's up with my computer. I'm so sorry, everyone. But everything you just said it was 100% right. Is that you can, I like this idea of like, there's one I loved. It was, I think it was this one. Oh man, where it was like different lessons and it had like the entire like learning path for you that you can go through and like, like everything you need right there in the Wakelet, which is just incredible, right? The entire curriculum right there. Yes. And then for each activity, the quiz is either activity at the end to check for understanding at the end, or at the, somewhere in the middle or the beginning to use like a quizzes lesson to teach them. So it was fully
Kyle, I want to bring this up just because you're you and I'm me, and we are kind of on the same level, but I had someone, a teacher, a veteran teacher, actually, I'll just tell you, it was my cousin. I'm always throwing him under the bus, so hopefully he's not mad at me now that we're on YouTube Live. But he showed me one of his lesson plans, and I said, "Where's your formative assessment?" And he was like, "My what?" And I was like, "How do you not know this?" And then I said, "Well, where is your?" He had teacher reflection. I said, "But what about the students? Are you not asking students about like the lesson, like getting feedback so you can improve it?" And it was sort of a new concept to him. And I use him as an example. I wasn't mean to him. I didn't shame him, but I kind of had a conversation with him about it because I think the assumption is all of us here probably are used to this conversation, used to that method in teaching. But there are a lot of new teachers coming into the profession who maybe don't know, and that wasn't something that they went over in their, their certification or their teaching education classes. So I always like to hit on that. Quizzes is much more than just quizzes. That's hard to say. That's a tongue twister. And it's the same thing. Wakelet is it's so much more than just curation. And what I want to encourage all of our teachers and viewers to do is really look at these digital tools this week with a new perspective. How can you dive deeper in the learning with your students instead of just doing that, that surface level? So that's my challenge to all of you, is really dive in there and see how you can get your students engaged and asking questions. When they're asking you questions or critiquing your work on how you've structured a lesson plan in Wakelet, or the question asking you're doing in quizzes, that's when you've really hit the sweet spot for them. Goodbye, Alex Isaacs. It was great seeing you. I always love it. He gives us his ending. But what do you think, Kyle? What do you think about that? Do you think everybody, like I have kind of been under the assumption that everybody kind of knew that, what you just said, but I don't think that's true.
Yeah, I think everyone does it, right? In some capacity, right? I think it's just like sometimes it's more formalized than others. And sometimes you need that little bit of a nudge just to kind of like, I've been there where I thought I was crushing in the classroom. And someone's like, "Oh, like, how do you know that they know what you're teaching?" And I was like, "Of course they." Yeah,
of course they do. Why wouldn't they? I said it one time. Yeah, me too. It really isn't my reflection of my own practice. Like if you went and saw me, Kyle, like, 25 years ago, you'd be like, "Tisha, what are you doing?"
I think we need to wrap it up, Tisha. We're at the top of the
yes, we are. Do we have any other slides? Is that our last slide?
I mean, we got to spin it. We have to do at least one more winner.
Oh, one more. Okay, good.
Cool. So I just want to encourage anyone who's here, again, make sure you're following us. If you haven't already, we're at the best spot, at least for us. I don't know about you, Tisha, as far as where you're sharing the top updates and all that kind of stuff. And certificates will be sent with the form at the end. And then replay locations will be on the YouTube. And anything else to add there before we pick our
No, that's it. You guys make sure you're following Quizizz and Wakelet on all the social media platforms. The profiles will be available to you. All of the resource collections, including Kyle's today. You're going to have access to everything. Let's see who our second winner is.
Let's see. All right. Second winner was just red. That's going to be a hope. Do we go with it? Do we hope?
I don't know. Is red in the chat? If you're red and you're in the chat, can you identify yourself?
Well, we'll spin it one more as a backup.
Okay.
I should have clarified as you entered this to, put your name there. All right. Look at that. We got a first and last name. That should be much
wonderful.
Easier. Cool. Congratulations. We'll get you your Quizizz swag. We are a minute overhand. So again, I just want to say again, please, if you're on Twitter X, click on this, takes 3 seconds, you click it, it pulls up a template, shares some of the amazingness we're doing. And then more than anything, you gave up, or not gave up, you shared your valuable time with us. And we appreciate that very much.
We do. Thank you all for joining us. Kyle and I are going to go do some Wakelet Quizizz work, and then we'll be back here with the next session. So go take a break, come back and see us. Today and tomorrow, we're ready to see you. Tweet out. We want you to win. I tweeted Kyle. I know I'm not qualified, but I was going to tweet anyway.
Okay.
Thank you all for joining. Kyle, I loved this with you. We should do this more often.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Thank you guys. We'll talk to you later. Bye.